Hello YouTube, it's your host Axel Rose, the Shogun with the slogan, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. And I'm not gonna lie, this piece of news kind of caught me off guard, very off guard. So basically, it looks like Sony may be going multi-platform with certain PlayStation 4 games. And we've definitely seen this before with titles like God of War going over to PlayStation Now and a couple of other titles. But it seems like we've been hearing rumors about Horizon Zero Dawn also going to PlayStation Now and PC. And I was going to report about this initially, but because it's only a few games here and there, and Sony does a really good job at supplementing exclusives. So, yes, for every one game you have that goes multi-platform, you have another two or three which are exclusive. But I'm not gonna lie, today's announcement about MLB the show going multi-plat, that was definitely kind of a shock. Not necessarily because it's the PlayStation's biggest franchise, but it definitely has been an institution which has been present on PlayStation consoles for a long time.
How about a little music? Yeah.
Being a university student studying business, I can definitely see the financial reasons why Sony would want to diversify their gaming portfolio. But it just seems like they're doing it at the risk of losing integrity in a PlayStation brand. Now, we can already say without fail that you definitely wouldn't catch Nintendo putting any of their exclusives on any other console. And even though this has only been a few out of the huge hat of Sony's exclusives, I'm gonna be honest, this is a huge L. And if Sony keep going on like this, it's not exactly going to bode well for them. Now, the reason this news comes as such a disappointment is that it kind of craps on the amazing work Sony have been doing all generation, bolstering their first party offerings. Like, yes, they did initially give us a new Killzone and a new Infamous and a new Uncharted, but they also added to that by creating franchises like Bloodborne, Until Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn, even The Order. At least that's something new. Now, I was really hoping that they would be on the way to solidifying their exclusives to a point where Nintendo's are, where they can put games out and the price of those games never drop because you know that Sony brand quality. And they were almost there. I'm not gonna lie, they were almost there. But doing things like this definitely cheapens the look of your exclusives. I mean, you will never see a game that formerly said only for Nintendo on another platform unless the developer was bought out. That's it. That's the only way you're getting, games like Killer Instinct and GoldenEye, games that have classically been Nintendo games go over to Xbox, because Rare got bought out. And even in that case, not all the games could go over. So, you know, so to see Sony go this way and to basically value that extra piece of dollars over the people who have been supporting them, because that's what it kind of comes across like, let's be honest, Sony want more money. And if they were where Microsoft or Nintendo is, I could kind of understand that. But dude, you guys are the number one selling console brand, period. Like, there's nothing else but you. Like, what more could you actually want? How much more money could you want? And it's interesting because decisions like these are usually the decisions that happen before a company goes down. Now, I'm not saying, oh, this is the end of Sony. On the contrary, I'm hoping that what they will do is bolster their first party with a slew of new games. Hopefully, they use all of this money that comes back into the PlayStation brand to make it more powerful. I mean, that would be the logical thing. But to be honest, it's about the money. And from the reactions of a lot of Sony fanboys on Twitter, you can tell they're seeing this for the first time. And maybe that's a good thing that their eyes get open before next generation so they are aware that Sony is a business. And I understand how it could hurt them a little bit because Sony did make it out like they were our best friends this generation for making sure we still had things like, being able to use U games, and you know, just basically being there for us and supporting us and listening when we wanted things changed. But this is just going to be really interesting, and I really hope Sony don't go down a road of, you know, making their exclusives worthless. Let's be honest. If they do this, their exclusives will be worthless. And it's kind of creating a narrative of just waiting on consoles and then just getting a PC version. I could completely understand PC guys doing that because they can have the best of both worlds. And to tell the truth, by doing this, Sony are making the only viable console the Nintendo Switch. So I would really like to know Sony's planning behind this, because just because a game is old, it doesn't mean that people won't still want to get a PlayStation for it. I mean, there's guys that it's been like 4 years since Bloodborne came out. So there's guys that weren't old enough to get a job then, who finally was able to get a job, and like, let me get this PS4 and Bloodborne now, especially now it's cheaper. And now they might have other options to get it. It's just really, the thought really baffles me, especially since Sony has built up their reputation on having the best games. Last generation, we saw the multi-platform support they had from Japan go to the Xbox. So Sony had to do their thing and make their own games. And that is what saved them. Games like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Metal Gear, even though that was a third-party exclusive, that was still a core PlayStation games. All those games helped the PlayStation 3 rise from the ashes and, you know, become what it is. So it's just very interesting to see, and I want to actually see where this all ends up going and how it does for Sony. Let me know what you think about this. Do you reckon this will hurt Sony or help them? Like I'm not even sure myself at the moment, to tell the truth, because I could definitely see the financial benefit, but it's gonna affect the brand negatively. Let's just keep it 100. There's no way putting your exclusive games on the PC and the Switch isn't gonna affect the brand and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for everybody that's coming out, giving those likes and stuff like that, and still supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. Shout outs to Larry Caldwell, Blood Dragon, Barrel Bob, Snow Bunny. Thank you to all you guys and stuff like that. Always rocking out with me in the streams and stuff like that. That's all good. That's all good. Shout outs to Jamal King, everybody. Okay, I will see you guys later. Take it easy. Peace.